Hello, English learners! Welcome to a new podcast episode here on Story Orbit N. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Tom. Welcome back. We are so happy that you're joining us today because this episode is going to be so much fun. It's going to be a game, and honestly, I think we are going to laugh a lot.
Definitely. So today's podcast is something special. We're going to play a game called Guess the Word. One of us will describe a word without saying it, and the other person has to guess what it is. While we play, we'll also explain vocabulary, grammar, and useful expressions for you. So this way, you learn English in a fun and natural way.
Yes, and I think this is a really good idea because games make learning less stressful. You can play along with us. Try to guess the word before we do. If you guess faster than us, well, congratulations.
I love that idea. So let's start with something easy. I'll describe the first word. Are you ready, Tom?
I was born ready, I think. Let's go.
All right. This is something you use when it's raining. It's not a raincoat. You hold it in your hand, and when you open it, it looks like a big circle that protects you from the rain. What is it?
Hmm, that sounds like an umbrella.
Correct. Yes, the word is umbrella. Now, learners, here's something important. We say an umbrella, not an umbrella. Do you know why? Because the word starts with a vowel sound. In English, we use an before words that start with a vowel sound, like an apple, an elephant, an idea. But if the word starts with a consonant sound, we use a's, like a card, a book, a hotel.
And here's a little trick. It's about sound, not the letter. For example, we say an hour, not an hour, because hour starts with the vowel sound, ow. The letter is H, but the sound is a vowel, so we use an. It can be confusing at first, but once you practice, it becomes natural.
That's so true. So let's make a quick sentence. Tom, give us one.
Sure, I need an umbrella because it's raining, easy and useful.
Perfect. Okay, now your turn to give me a word.
All right, this is something you eat in the morning. It's not bread, it's not eggs. It's sweet, crunchy, and you usually eat it in a bowl with milk.
Oh, that's cereal.
Yes, the word is cereal. Now, careful with this word because it sounds the same as another word, cereal. They sound the same, but the meanings are very different. Cereal is the food, like cornflakes, and cereal is something in a series, like a TV show. So these are called homophones, words that sound the same but have different meanings and spellings. Another example is pear in pear. Pear means two of something, like a pair of shoes, and pear is the fruit.
Yes, homophones can be tricky, but if you pay attention to context, you will understand which one is correct. For example, if someone says, I bought a new pair, you know they're talking about two things. If they say, I ate a pear, then it's the fruit. Easy, right?
Exactly. Okay, Jessica, now it's your turn to describe a word.
This one is something you use to communicate with people when you are not face to face. It can be a device or an app. You probably use it every single day.
Hmm, I think that's a phone.
Correct. And let's talk about a common mistake. Many learners say, I called to him, but that's wrong. In English, when you use the verb call in this way, you don't need to. You just say, I called him. But if you use the verb speak, then you do need to. For example, I spoke to him. So, call someone, know to. Speak to someone, with to.
That's a really important detail. So, the correct sentences are, I called my mom yesterday and I spoke to my mom yesterday. Easy to remember.
Yes, practice this. Okay? Next word. Tom.
This is something you wear on your wrist to tell the time. It's smaller than a clock.
I know this word. That's a watch, right?
Yes, exactly. And the word watch can be both a noun and a verb. As a noun, it's the thing you wear on your wrist, like I bought a new watch. As a verb, it means to look at something for a period of time, like I watch TV every evening. Don't confuse watch with see or look. Watch is for something that moves, like a movie or a football game. Look is when you direct your eyes to something, like look at the skies. And see is when something enters your vision, like I see the mountains.
That's a great explanation. And remember, we say watch TV, not see TV. People sometimes say, I'm seeing TV, but that's incorrect. Say, I'm watching TV. Okay, my turn now. This is something you have on your birthday. You blow them out after making a wish. They have fire on top, but just a little bit.
I love this one. Candles. Candles are so much fun to blow out.
Yes, candles. And here's an irregular verb for you. Blow, its past tense is blew, and the past participle is blown. So you say, I blow out the candles now, I blew out the candles yesterday, and I have blown out the candles for the present perfect. Try to remember that because irregular verbs are very common.
Good one. And that's an easy way to practice irregular verbs. Connect them to real life situations like birthdays. Okay, next word from me. This is something you use to write on paper. It's not a pen, but it has a gray stick inside, and you can erase it.
A pencil. When I was little, I lost a lot of pencils at school.
Correct. Yes, I also lost a lot of pencils.
Okay, now my turn. This is something sweet you eat after the main meal. It can be ice cream, cake, or pudding. The last dish that is usually eaten is called,
I was thinking a cake, but if you mean something more general, I think the word is dessert.
yes, dessert. But be careful, because dessert with two S letters is different from desert with one S. Dessert is sweet food, and desert is a dry place with sand, so spelling matters.
And stress too. If you stress the wrong syllable, it changes the meaning. Okay, here's my next word. This is something soft you use to dry your hands or body after washing. Absorbs water.
A towel. That one was easy. And here's something interesting. You can also use towel as a verb. To towel off means to dry yourself with a towel. For example, I toweled off after swimming. English often turns nouns into verbs like that, like to Google something or to message someone. Okay, let's do a few more. This is something you wear on your head when it's sunny.
Is it a hat? You can use many things to cover your head.
Yes, it is a hat. It was a trick question. And hat is a short, simple word, but it's part of a lot of expressions. For example, to take your hat off to someone means to show respect. If I say, I take my hat off to you, it means I admire what you did.
That's a cool idiom. Okay, next one. This is something you find in a kitchen. You use it to heat food very fast.
A microwave. You can use the oven, but since you said it's for heating up food quickly, then the microwave.
Yes, microwave. And here's a tip. The word microwave can be a noun and a verb. You can say, I put it in the microwaves, or I microwave the food. So again, English loves flexible words.
Totally. Okay, my turn. This is something you do when you have free time and you enjoy it. For example, playing the piano, reading, or painting.
What? You can do a lot of things. I don't know this one.
Ha ha ha. True. The word is hobby, and the plural is hobbies. Notice how the Y changes to I's. This happens in many words. For example, baby becomes babies. City becomes cities. When a word ends in consonant point U, we change the Y to I and add E's.
That's a great grammar point. And here's another. If a word ends in vowel plus Y, like toy, the plural is toys. We just add S. So consonant plus Y changes vowel plus Y to zit.
Perfect. Okay, next round. This is something you wear on your feet when you go outside. You usually have two, one for each foot.
I know this one. Shoes.
Correct. And here is an expression for you. To be in someone's shoes. If I say, I wouldn't like to be in your shoes, it means I wouldn't like to be in your situation. So, it's an idiom about imagining how someone feels.
Nice one. And another common expression is, if the shoe fits, wear it. That means if something is true for you, accept it.
Good example. Okay, now give me a word.
This is something that helps you organize your days, weeks, and months. People usually hang it on the wall or check it on their phone.
A calendar. I love using calendars. It helps me stay organized.
Correct. And here's a grammar tip. When we talk about dates in English, we usually say the month first and then the day in American English. For example, July 4th. In British English, it's the opposite, 4th of July. So if you write dates, be careful because the order can change depending on the country.
True. And another tip about dates is how to use prepositions. We say on Monday, on July 4th, but we say in July, in 2025, and at night. So remember, in for months, years, and long periods, on for days and dates, and at for specific times. For example, I have a meeting at 3 p.m. on Monday in July.
Perfect explanation. Okay, next word. This is something people love to do when they don't have to work. They usually travel to another place to relax.
Vacation or holiday.
Exactly. Americans say vacation, British people say holiday. So, Both are correct depending on the variety of English you want to use. And by the way, the plural of holiday is holidays, and we also use that for special days like Christmas or New Year. For example, Happy Holidays.
Yes. And speaking of relaxing, my next word is connected to summer. This is a place with sand and water, and you go there to swim and sunbathe.
Beach. I want it to be summer again. I miss the beach.
Yes. And here's an expression: a day at the beach means a very easy day. Sometimes people also say, likes a beach, which sounds like a joke but means life is good. And now an idiom that learners should know: piece of cake. If I say that exam was a piece of cake, it means it was very easy.
That's a great one because you'll hear it a lot in movies and conversations. Another idiom is under the weather. If I say I'm feeling under the weather, it means I feel sick or not well. It doesn't mean you are literally under clouds or something like that.
Exactly. Idioms are fun but confusing, so always learn the meaning, not the literal words.
Okay, now let's do something funny. Jessica, I have a new word for you. This is something you find in the kitchen. It's big, cold, and you keep food inside it so it doesn't spoil.
A fridge. Why did you say funny? What's so fun about that?
Correct, a fridge. And now for the joke. I was going to say giraffe, but that's not in the kitchen unless it's a very big kitchen.
What? I don't understand you, Tom. A giraffe in the kitchen? That would be the weirdest kitchen ever.
Hey, I'm just trying to make the game interesting.
Well, you succeeded. Okay, now let's teach something useful: comparatives and superlatives. If I say a giraffe is taller than a fridge, that's a comparative. We use ers or more to compare two things. For example, bigger, smaller, more interesting. And for superlatives, when we talk about the most, we use est or most. For example, the biggest, the smallest, the most interesting. So big, bigger, the biggest.
Exactly. And remember, if the adjective is short, like tall, we add and est. Tall, taller, the tallest. If the adjective is long, like beautiful, we use more and most. Beautiful, more beautiful, the most beautiful.
Good rule. Okay, now let's talk about some and any. We use some in positive sentences like, I have some apples. And we use any in negative sentences in questions like, I don't have any apples or do you have any apples?
And with uncountable nouns like water, milk, sugar, we can't use numbers. You can't say two waters, you say some water. For example, can I have some water? If it's negative or a question, you say, I don't have any water, or do you have any water? And for quantity, we use much for uncountable nouns and many for countable nouns. For example, how much water do you drink and how many apples do you eat?
Yes, and remember, countable nouns are things you can count individually, like apples, books, chairs. Uncountable nouns are things you can't count individually, like milk, rice, and information. We don't say informations, we just say information.
Great point. And one more thing, when you're not sure, you can use a lot of for both countable and uncountable nouns. For example, I have a lot of books and I have a lot of water. Very useful.
Wow, Tom, that was such a fun episode. We played so many rounds of Guess the Word, and honestly, I think we both learned a lot too.
Yes, and our listeners learned even more. We talked about vocabulary like umbrella, cereal, phone, watch, pencil, dessert, and many others. We also covered grammar points like a and an, irregular verbs, plurals, and phrasal verbs.
And don't forget the idioms and expressions. We had take your hat off to someone and even piece of cake.
Listeners, remember that the best way to learn English is to make it fun. Play this game with a friend. Describe words without saying them and guess. It will help your vocabulary and speaking skills so much.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your friends and keep practicing every single day. The more you use English, the more natural it becomes. Did you enjoy the game? Let us know in the comments. Bye, guys.
Until next time, keep learning, keep laughing, and keep loving English. Goodbye, everyone.